where we get less than 2, complex area. So we're going to use the same formulas that we used before, except we have to divide the shape up into 2 sections. All right. So the first one here, we have kind of an L shape, but let's divide it into two shapes here. We'll call this area 1, and we'll call this area 2. Now, the whole side here is 30, and if this part is 10, we need to figure out what is that part. So we simply go 30 minus 10. That's got to be 20 centimeters. So we end up with 2 shapes, area 1 and area 2. Now area 1 is 12 by 10. So if we do length times width, we'll get 12 times 10. So area 1 is 120 centimeters squared. Now area 2, we use this value of 20, not the 30 that was there before, because 30 goes all the way across to this point, but we don't want that point. We want it just from here to there. So we're going to use 20 by 9. So area 2 is length times width, which is 20 times 9. So area 2 is 180. It's a very poor 9 centimeters squared. Now the total would be area 1 plus area 2. So 120 centimeters squared plus 180 centimeters squared. That gives us a total of 300 centimeters squared. Example 2, let's divide this shape into half a circle and then the rectangle. Okay. Now, the area of a circle formula is pi r squared, but we don't have a full circle, we have half circle, so let's divide that by 2. The other thing we need to figure out is what is the radius? So what is the distance from the center halfway? Well, the distance all the way across is 4.5, so the diameter would be 4.5, which means the radius is 4.5 divided by 2. So if we go 4.5, divide that by 2, we get a radius of 2.25. All right, so if we bring that back over here, we're going to go pi times 2.25 squared, but then we're dividing it by 2 because we have a half circle, not the full circle. So let's clear our calculator. Pi times 2.25 squared. Let's hit equals, and then we got to divide that by 2. So the area of this one is 7.952, etc. Okay. The second one, we're going to have a height of 6 and the distance of 4.5. So if we use our area is equal to length times width, we get 6 times 4.5. So if we do 6 times 4.5, we get an area of 27 meters squared. So if we take that 27 and we add it back to our half circle of 7.952, we get 35.95. And this is meters squared. Okay, here's a bit of a complex shape. We have a half circle. We have this middle shape here, and then another half circle. So we're going to do the same kind of process as we did in the last question. The half circle, so area is equal to pi r squared. And the radius, well, the whole thing across is 9, so the radius is going to be 4.5. So pi times 4.5 squared divided by 2, because it's a half circle. And then the second one, we have to do that average. So there's 15 and that's 9. So we're going to do area is 15 plus 9 multiplied by the height of 10, but then divided by 2. And then the last area is another half circle. The diameter is 15, so the radius is going to be 7.5 squared. And it's a half circle, so we divide by 2. So let's figure out this first one. Pi times 4.5 squared equals, divide that by 2. So we get 31.808625 dot dot dot. The next one here, we get 15 plus 9 times by 10, multiplied by 10, and then divided by 2. This area is 120. And then lastly, pi times 7.5 squared, divided by 2, we should get 88.357, etc. So if the total we add A1 plus A2 plus A3, we should get our answer. So we've already got this 88 in the calculator, so if we add that to 120, and then we also add that to 31.808625, we get 240.2 meters squared. Okay, this next shape, maybe pause the video in your notes, see how you would divide this shape up, and then hit play and see how I do it. So I would divide it up kind of like this. All right, so we've got area 1, area 2, and area 3. A couple measurements we need to figure out. We need to figure out this whole length. So if you look over here, 6.8 plus 3.1 would give us an entire height of 9.9. Okay, and that should be about all we kind of need to figure out, I think. We already have the height here, which is 12.6. We have this height. Oh, we do need to figure out this length here. All right, so the entire thing is 13.4, and this part is 6.2. So if we go 13.4 minus 6.2, looks like just this section here is 7.2. All right, so let's figure out area 1. It's a triangle. So we're doing base times height divided by 2. The base is actually 9.9. So 9.9 times 12.6 divided by 2. So area 1 is 62.37 centimeters squared. Area 2 is just length times width, so that 6.2 and 9.9. So 6.2 times 9.9, we get 61.38. And lastly, area 3 is length times width. So we get 7.2 times 6.8. Should get 48.96. So if we take area 1, area 2, and area 3, and we add it all up, that'll give us our total. So let's do that. 62.37 plus 61.38 plus 48.96 gives us 172.71 centimeters squared. Okay, last example. We have this area here, which is just going to be length times width. We have this area here, which is length and width. Then we have two circles, so we can just calculate the area of one of them and then multiply the whole thing by 2. Okay? So let's figure out area 1. So area 1 is length times width, so 0.5 times 0.75. 0.5 times 0.75, and you get 0.375 meters squared. Area 2 is 0.75 times 0.2 multiplied by 0.2, so 0.75 times 0.2, 0.15 meters squared. And the two circles, we do need to figure out the radius. So it gives us the entire length across is 2.8, so the radius is going to be half of that, so 0.14. So let's call this area 3. So area 3 is pi r squared, but then we have two circles, so if we just multiply it by 2, we should get what we need. So 2 times pi times 0.14 squared. 2 times pi times 0.14 squared. And there you get 0.123150. So again, the total, if we take area 1 plus area 2 plus area 3, we'll have our answer. So we'll take this and we add it to 0.375 and we add that to 0.15. We should get a total of 0.65 meters squared.